opportunity come off the bye week. How do you feel like the team has responded after having a few days off?
Oh, really good, really good. We needed it. We were banged up a little bit, so that was a refresher. It was good to get some guys healthy and back on the practice field Sunday and then today as well. So the bye week was good to us.
Having a chance to take a look at LSU, what kind of stands out about them defensively?
A lot. I mean, they're a big, fast team. They got a really good front seven, and then on the back end, they're probably as good as it gets in NCAA football. So we got a tough challenge ahead of us. We're excited for it. Guys are up to the challenge. I think we faced a really good defense 2 weeks ago as well. So guys proved that we can compete with that level, and we're looking forward to it again this week.
You added a new wrinkle with the motions in the backfield and stuff. Is there some more wrinkles you are going to try to throw in weeks to come?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, we just got to keep staying ahead of it and finding different ways that we can get the defense to line up the way we want them to. And so we'll keep doing that stuff, and it'll be a bunch of different things. Every week will be different. Some weeks we won't need to do as much, some weeks we will. So that's part of it, and I think the coach and our staff did a really nice job, and creating some opportunities for our guys to get off the ball and create some double teams up front. And guys got great push, and then the guys were running the ball really well. And I thought on the perimeter we were blocking really well. So it all just worked out really well 2 weeks ago.
When you put those things in, is that entirely about formational leverage and positional leverage, or is there like a personnel skill set aspect
No,
to that?
it's both. It's both. I mean, it's how can you get your we said it a bunch in here. How can you get your best players the opportunity to get into space, right? And how do we get the defense to line up the way we want them to that's advantageous to our play and our scheme? And that was the way we did it a couple of weeks ago. And so this week we had to come up with some new stuff and maybe some of the same olds, and we'll throw it out there and let those guys see what we can do. But we have to do it. It's important. When you're playing really good defenses, you can't just line up and play ball. It's not realistic. The same way in the National Football League, and this is as close as it gets to the National Football League playing in this division.
We had asked you about running plays versus option plays a couple weeks ago. And your 57-17 run pass, and Kylan Hill over 20 carries. Were there more running plays, or was it just that was the read and it worked out that way?
Both. I'd say honestly, it's both. I think we committed a few more things to the game plan, and then again the way we were able to line up and attack those guys a little bit. It put the ball into the running back's hand, Harris and Kylan's hand a little bit more. So it was a little bit of both.
I know wide receivers want the football just about every snap. So when you make a commitment to the running game, how do you kind of keep those guys engaged with really the team concept?
Well, I think it's like anything. When you have success, I think that's what guys want more than anything. They want success, and I think running the football is going to help that other part of it a lot more. And so that's going to create opportunities for those guys. And their play style was outstanding. I thought they were strong, they were physical, and I thought that they were playing their butts off the entire game. It was really good.
Being able to analyze those first 6 games about the receivers, like he was talking about, what have y'all looked at and said that maybe we can emphasize this, maybe take this away, and find new ways to use what you've got in the receiver core?
Yeah, I think it's what we did against Auburn, and what we're going to do going forward is just what is the defense presenting to us? How can we get the guys that we need to get the ball in their hands? I think that's what we have to answer that question more so than what we did in the past or how we were attacking defenses in the past. We just got to refocus on, okay, this is what they present to us. We have certain guys on our side of the ball that we got to get the ball in their hand, and so that's more of the approach, honestly.
How do you prepare for a hostile environment like the Fowling?
Well, you put speakers all around us and we can't hear each other talk, so that was a good experience at it today. I thought the guys handled it really well, and I mean that's what it is. I mean teams have to deal with it when they come to our place, and that's part of it. When you play big time football, you have to deal with that, So we expected an outstanding environment, and we're gonna be prepared for it. And you create as much chaos as you can during the week so that you can simulate it. It won't be the same, but you simulate it as closely as you can.
To get back to the motions from the Auburn game, how does this offense use formation to generate advantages?
I mean, a bunch of different ways. I mean, so it'll be putting different people in different alignments. It's creating looks that maybe they haven't prepared for. And then, I think as much as anything, it was, moving the running back around enough so that Kylan and Harris and those guys were able to get going downhill faster. So I think that all goes into it. I think it's the placement of personnel. I think it's dispersion of how the defense is going to line up against you, and then how you want to be able to get them to line up the way you want them to, so you can get the blocks that you want, or the protection that you want, or the routes that you want.
to force them to line up the way you want them to, is that a product of formation or motion to get into said formation?
It's both. It's both. I mean, when you watch football games on Sunday in National Football League, that's all you see. I mean, I know they huddle, so that's why it comes off that way. But that's all that those guys are doing is when they're watching film all week, they're just saying, okay, how can we get the 3 technique lined up here? How can we get that defensive end line up as a 9 technique or a 6 technique, whichever you'd prefer? How do you get the safety in the location you want? How do you get the one-on-one matchup that you want? And so we're doing all that, and that's what you're trying to do with all the formations and motions and stuff.
Going back to the wide receivers, when you watch film, what can some of those guys do to sort of facilitate the passing game when you guys do elect to pass to, maybe be more prolific in that area?
No, I think there's nothing you can just put your finger on. I think it's just executing your assignment as well as you can, and it takes the whole offense. I mean, it's not a route. It's protection, it's footwork by the quarterback, it's the accuracy of the quarterback, it's the running the route the way you're supposed to do it, where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. It's the whole thing. So it's not just, I don't think you can just put it on one thing. I don't think it's a receiver thing. I don't think it's a quarterback thing. And I don't think it's a protection thing. I think it's that we've had all those areas not perform well together to get the kind of result maybe that we necessarily want. But I think with what we're doing now, we're going to be able to create more opportunities for ourselves. It'll make things a little bit easier.
Your name is surfaced in connection with the Bowling Green job. What's your response to those reports?
No, yeah, that's all it is a report, guys. I'm happy to be here and I'm excited. I think it's flattering when you get your name thrown around like that and stuff. But I'm focused on these guys. We got a big game here in Death Valley. We got to get taken care of. So that's where I'm at with that.